shall begin with the webinar now. So before we begin with the webinar, I would like to first talk to you about Gyanberry. I'm sure most of you already have an idea what we do and what our services are. But for those who don't have any idea, I would just like to quickly take you through. So Gyanberry has more than 250 official partner universities spread across 30 different countries. And since our inception, we have already counseled 10,000 plus students and counting. We are also trained by British Council and AIRC, and we expertise in top German public universities because over the years we have been sending hundreds of students to different universities in Germany. So we have a dedicated admission team dealing with German applications. And I would also like to highlight that if any of you are looking to register with us for any of the German universities, you all should know that we do not charge anything for our admission services. Our admission services are completely free of cost to any of our partner universities. Now, let's look into some of the reasons as to why students prefer to go to Germany and study. So there are many reasons for students to study in Germany. One of the reasons is that 15 German universities are ranked in the top 200 worldwide, like Technical University of Munich, KIT, etc. And Germany is the largest economy in Europe and is the fourth largest in the world after US, China, and Japan. And it is also situated in the center of Europe, which is giving easy accessibility to countries like Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, Czech Republic, etc. Another most popular reason for a lot of international students to choose Germany is the no tuition fees charged by a lot of universities in Germany. So higher education in Germany is mainly funded by the state. And in such cases, they are always, free of charge for international students. Less than 10% of universities in Germany are private universities, which will actually charge students or you have to pay a certain fee. But remaining all of them are free of cost as long as you meet with the eligibility requirement. Okay. And along like studying in Germany or choosing Germany as a destination not only comes with free education, but they also allow you to study in English if you're not very strong with your German language skills. So not everyone is comfortable in learning a program, completely in a new language. So Germany is, they have options for all kinds of students. Okay. And alongside the programs and benefits, Germany also offers great flexible job opportunities. So it's worth highlighting that practice-oriented universities in Germany, they have agreements with a lot of top companies that will provide internships. So these internships may not always be paid, but they will, look very good on your CV once you graduate in order to get a good future job. And finally, after studying in Germany, you can also stay back, you have the opportunity to stay back in the country and seek for jobs. So the law of the country allows international students to stay back up to 18 months. So you can utilize that 18 months to either look for a job, or if you already have a job, you can use that 18 months to gain experience and probably then decide to stay back. So this is all the points we have for Germany. Now I would like to ask my colleague, Mr. Ratnesh, to just take over the presentation and enlighten you with more details. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Pooja. I think we did cover some really important points out here. Nobody needs a reason to study in Germany, but still, these are some of the most popular reasons why a lot of students these days are choosing Germany. Now, to take this point ahead, let's just have a look at how Germany is very strategically located. So on the left of your screen, you will see the map of Europe, not entire Europe, but a lot of countries. And you will see where Germany is located. It is surrounded by several countries, including the Scandinavian country of Denmark. Then we have Poland, we have Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland, France, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, so many of them, and also very easily accessible to countries like UK and Sweden. So that's the reason all the hotspots in Europe are very well connected to Germany, whether you talk about Prague, Warsaw, Vienna, or any other city which is having great significance. On the right of your screen, you will see the important cities in Germany. Many people do not look at Germany beyond Berlin or Hamburg, but here you'll see that there are many cities which are important as far as Germany's economy is concerned. For example, along with Berlin, we have Hanover, Essen, Frankfurt, Munich, Leipzig. And then there are other smaller cities as well, like Hamburg, Dortmund, Düsseldorf, Cologne, and so many more. So when you're looking at universities in Germany, if your universities are near these regions, you would know that they are the economic hotspots of the country, and you will have a lot of opportunities after finishing their education for, let's say, job or business. Now, let's have a look at which are the countries who are sending maximum number of students to Germany. So this is the statistic. China obviously leads this race with 40,000 students from China who are studying in Germany right now. And the growth for Chinese students year on year has been approximately 24%, followed by India, roughly 25,000 students. And the growth has been tremendous, 52%. And you can see other countries as well. Other countries include a lot of Asian countries like Syria, Iran, and Turkey as well. And then it also includes Russia and Cameroon. So there are students from different parts of the world who are choosing to study in Germany, and they are increasing in good numbers every year. So, I mean, it's not going to be very far when Germany will become among the top choices for international students, not just in Europe, but also worldwide. So now, why are so many students rushing towards Germany? Why is there such a good growth in terms of international students year on year? Well, that's because Germany is among the highest ranking country as far as attractivity to international students is concerned within Europe. For a base, we have also compared it with UK, and you can see that in terms of attractivity to international students, Germany ranks even higher than UK and from some other countries such as France, Netherlands as well. So that's the great reason why a lot of students these days are moving towards Germany. A lot of you feel that Germany is all about automobile industry, and there are a lot of, let's say, engineering related things which can happen there. But have a look at these. These are the top sectors or top industries in Germany, and you will be happy to see that your doubt on automobile industry is correct. It's the leading industry in Germany with 436 billion euros of revenue every year. But then let's not ignore the other industries. Let's have a look at the healthcare industry. More than 370 billion euros every year. Information technology and computer science, telecommunication, more than 250 billion euros. Mechanical and plant engineering, chemistry and pharmaceutical, which is pure science, is almost 200 billion euros every year. And then even electrical engineering and electronics related, more than 190 billion euros. So there is a scope for everyone. When there are so many industries in in any particular country, there will always be scope for let's say professionals who can deal with the accounting of all these firms, with the finance of all these firms. There will be requirement of managers, which brings your business administration into picture. So all these things are having great scope as far as Germany is concerned. So let's have a look at which are the most popular fields of studies. So this is just on the basis of students who are choosing to study in Germany. There is options of automobile engineering, which is among the most popular, followed by mechanical, civil, or structural engineering, computer science or information technology, even business administration, as I mentioned earlier. Medicine and health sciences was the second largest industry there, so undoubtedly become comes into picture. Humanities, commerce, accounting, pure sciences, and economics. These are among the most popular fields of study as far as the Germany is concerned. If your field of interest does not, I mean, it's not visible in this table, that does not mean that Germany University does not offer it. All you have to do is reach out to us, and we will let you know the scope and the opportunities within that stream as far as Germany or German universities are concerned. Now, it is very important that all of us understand which are the types of higher education institutes in Germany. The concept is slightly different than many other countries out here. For example, in Germany, there are three basic type of institutes. You have technical universities, you have universities of applied sciences, and you have the College of Arts. So now, as far as the emphasis is concerned, the technical universities, they focus more on the theoretical aspects, which means that they are ideal if you want to get into research. Again, it's a great thing to get into research as far as Germany is concerned, because Germany is currently having the highest number of pending patents, which means research is something that they do day and night. Looking at the other option, that is University of Applied Sciences, they have a more practice oriented approach. So they are ideal for entering into a professional work setup. And then there are College of Arts, which are focused on creative minds. And if you want to get into creative fields, for example, music, design, etc. We have given some examples as well. For technical universities, the ideal example can be, let's say, the Technical University of Munich or München, as they call it. Then there is also an option within University of Applied Sciences, that is the FH University of Applied Sciences, which is ranked number one as per the CHE rankings for all applied science universities in Germany. And then within College of Arts, we have the option of colleges like HBK SI. So these are the different types of higher education institutes in Germany. Now let's have a look at their share within the entire industry of universities. So you can see that the University of Applied Sciences are more than 50%. So let's just have a small number. Let's say there are 100 universities in Germany. More than 50 are actually University of Applied Sciences. Approximately 26 are universities. Approximately 12 out of them are University of Arts. 4 of them are teaching universities, and 7 of them are universities into public administration. So that's how the entire breakup is. There are a lot of universities, but there are many more universities of applied sciences as well. So that's how the entire breakup is. Now, where are the students studying? So if you look at the left graph, you will see that there was a great number of students studying at the universities, always in excess of 1 million. We have taken the data in from ahead of 2000, which means this last 2 decades. Whereas if you look at the number of students in the University of Applied Sciences, it is growing at a very rapid rate. Already it is about to clock 1 million students at the end of 2020 academic year, which means hopefully in the next 5 years it will almost be as much as the universities. So the number of students are there in universities as well as University of Applied Sciences, but as you can see, there is a huge growth in the University of Applied Sciences because people are also focusing on practice oriented learning. On the right side, there is something really shocking, which all of you must know, the number of students at private higher education institutes. Now, you must be aware that in Germany, there are public and private universities. We will be talking about that in detail in the coming slides, but I'm sure all of you have knowledge about it, that public universities do not charge tuition fee. So a lot of people feel that, okay, Germany is a popular study destination because only of that reason that there is no tuition fee at public universities. But then this statistic will shock you that people are ready to study at a private university. They are ready to pay and study in Germany. And those numbers are also increasing year after year, which simply explains the quality of education and the exposure that the international students obtain when they are studying in Germany. So Germany is not all only about public universities. It's about great quality of education and amazing exposure, which is available in both type of accredited universities, whether it is public or private. So that's about the how and where the students are studying. Now, let's have a quick understanding between the difference between a public and a private university. So let's have a look at the public universities, almost favorite of everybody out here. They do not have tuition fee. This is the most important reason. However, majority of the public universities offer courses in German language. There would be some public universities which will offer some courses in English, but then for you to find a university which is public and offering the same exact course which you want to study is definitely going to be a task, but there are some options. Because of that reason, it is highly competitive to get into a English speaking public university in Germany. They have limited international collaborations because being government or public universities, their main focus is on the German economy and how they can make you, let's say, industry ready as far as the German economy is concerned. When you are studying at a public university, you have obviously you have the opportunity to work part time, and once you finish your studies, you get the post study work permit as well. Now, if we compare all of these to a private university, well, the tuition fee is applicable. That's the first major difference. The tuition fee range will be shown to you in the coming slides. Maximum courses in a private university are offered in English language. So if you are somebody who is not really keen, let's say, to not just to learn the language, but to learn the entire course of whichever your interest is in that particular language, then you can definitely focus on private universities. They are slightly less competitive. Uh, Now, please do not assume here that because of maybe quality of education is less, they will be less competitive. It's only because of the number of applicants. With obvious reasons, people would have first preference to study at public university because of zero tuition fee. That is what increases the competition and makes them highly competitive. When it comes to the quality of education, there is absolutely no difference, which is what we saw in the previous slide. Then the number of students in private universities is also increasing at a very rapid rate. Private universities have great network of international universities, so there will be opportunities where you can do, let's say, some part of a semester in Switzerland or in Prague or even in USA and Canada. They have some really good collaborations. When it comes to part-time as well as post-study work permit, it remains the same, which goes on to show the fact that the accreditation of the university is the same, whether it is a public university or a private university. The accreditations are absolutely the same, which means there would be no difference in the quality of education when you are studying at a German university, be it public or be it private. Now, for all of you who want to study in Germany, let's have a look at the eligibility. If you are a bachelor degree applicant, which means you are in the high school right now, or whatever may be your current situation, but you want to apply for a bachelor's degree, you will be eligible for year one entry. If at all, yes, you can focus on learning the German language and aim to get into the university. Obviously, here we are assuming that since majority of the courses are in German language, you would want to do that. But if you want to apply only to English speaking courses, then this particular option will not be required. And if you are not eligible for year one entry, then you'll have to go through a student college. Now, to explain you further about the eligibility requirement and everything, I would request my colleagues, Ms. Sukanya, to take it over from here.
Thank you, Ratnesh. Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us in this webinar. So as I'm sure by this time you all must have got a lot of information about studying in Germany and the process in Germany, which looks a little different from other countries, of course. So in order to explain further for this eligibility for studying in Germany, as Mr. Ratnesh had explained, if you are proceeding with year one entry for bachelor degree applicants into the German language course, then you will have to have German language proficiency prior to getting into the university. If you're not eligible to apply for year one entry, the eligibility criteria I will mention in next slides. So if you're not eligible for year one entry, then of course you will have to go through the student colleague program, which is also called as a foundation year, which is like a freshman year in the German Abitur education system. So to explain further, process for studying in Germany for bachelor degree applicants. So in Germany, for universities which are public universities, or there are few private universities as well, they do not accept students who have studied or who are doing 12 years of curriculum, because as per the German Abitur system, students need to have 13 years of education system. So the students who are with 12 years curriculum, let's say Indian, Arabic, SABIS, American ministry, they need to first complete the high school, which is year 12, the final year. If the student is applying for the German taught program, they will have to learn the language first. They can learn the language in your country of residence, or you can go to Germany and learn the language. Then you will have to apply for the student college. You need to complete the foundation or the freshman year, which they call it as. Once you complete the freshman year, only then you're eligible to apply for the degree course, because a freshman year will will be equivalent to your year 13. So you have completed your year 13 and now you're eligible to apply for bachelor's degree in any of the universities, public or private. Usually bachelor's degree in Germany is 3.5 years, depending on the internship opportunities available for the university with the university. For British curriculum students, since it is year 13, if you're doing A levels, so it is equivalent to year 13. So you need to complete your A levels. If you are going for the German taught program, of course, again, then you need to learn the German language prior to applying to the university. Specific subject combination in A levels is required for direct year 1 entry, not only in A level, but also in your AS level. So they will consider your subjects starting from O levels, which is IGCSEs, your GCEAS and GCEA levels. So specific subject requirement are required, prerequisites are required before you apply to the university. So you must ensure that you're meeting the requirement as per the university. Again, for bachelor's, as I had mentioned, the bachelor's degree is 3.5 years. The total duration for British curriculum students, depending on which course you are proceeding with, it can be 4 to 4.5 years. For IB curriculum student, again, if the student is doing IB diploma, which is IB2 as well, they are following the 13th year. So they are also eligible to apply directly. If you are again applying for the German language course, the process will be similar. You will have to learn the language first, depending on what language proficiency till what level the university requires. Specific subject combination is also required for IB students. That means your HL and SL subjects, your mathematics requirements. If you're applying for engineering program, a lot of universities do not accept mathematical studies, and they only accept mathematics AA or AI. So you need to ensure that your subjects in your HL and SL level are meeting the prerequisites before you apply to the year 1 directly. For IB students as well, the total duration will be 4 to 4.5 years if you are applying directly to the university. Now coming to the grade specific requirements for Indian ministry like year 12 curriculum students, of course, the universities in Germany are very competitive, specifically the public universities, and the competition, we all know why the competition is higher, because the bachelor's program is free, there's no tuition fee. So, and the degree, of course, the engineering or business degree is also very rich, and that's the reason a lot of students across the world, they apply to Germany. So students must ensure that you have good grades, at least distinction in high school. So anywhere between, let's say, 75, 80%, 85% is required when you are applying. Of course, it may differ from university to university. SAT is usually not required for Indian, Arabic, and ministry curriculum students. For American and SABIS curriculum students, SAT will be required for sure. The recommended GPA, I would say anywhere above 3 is recommended. Specific AP subjects up to 4 may also be required depending on the course and the university. So you must ensure that when you're applying to any university, you're checking on the AP requirements. Also, please ensure that AP requirement is the college board AP and not the school AP exams. So when you're applying for the AP subjects, you will have to give the AP college board exam and the scores which will be out of 5. So your college board AP exams may be required when you're applying to the university. For IB and British curriculum, again, if the scores are better chances in getting admission. Again, the subject combination, whether in A levels you require 3 or 4 A levels, or let's say in HL, which subjects are required by the university is very important when you're applying. So you must ensure that you are reviewing the requirements before application, so that you apply to the universities where you are meeting the requirement prior to your application. SAT is not required for IB and British curriculum students. Also, I would like to mention that the students, SABIS curriculum students, if you are following the British curriculum, that means that if you are doing your IGCSEs, AS and A level, then you will fall under the British curriculum. So the requirements which I have explained for the British curriculum will also be same for the SABIS curriculum students following the British track. Now coming to the master's degree applicants' eligibility for studying. Here as well, there are two tracks, because in Germany, there are a lot of universities where English taught programs are available in public universities. So the students who are applying for the English language program, they can apply directly to the university. The students who want to apply to bilingual or let's say German language program, they need to first have the German language proficiency, depending whether the university requires you to have A1, A2, B1. Minimum B1 level is required by most of the universities where it is bilingual or German language courses. So you must ensure that you're meeting the German language requirement if at all you're applying to the German language course, or else for the English program, you don't need to learn the German language. Now, coming to the academic requirements for master's degree, of course, bachelor's degree in relevant discipline is required when you're applying. So if you are applying to an engineering program, so your bachelor's degree should be similar to that. Of course, the engineering program, bachelor's of engineering is required. The duration of the bachelor's degree is minimum 3 years. They usually see as per ECTS, which is the European credit system, which is around 180 credit points you must have completed in your bachelor's degree. So you have to ensure that your bachelor's degree credits are meeting the requirement prior to your application by the university. Bachelor's degree GPA requirement may vary. Of course, if you're applying to a top-ranked university like TU Munich or TU Berlin, the competition is very high, and that's the reason GPA requirement is also is quite high, because the GPA which you will be achieving in your bachelor's degree, they will convert it into your German, in their German system. So you will have to ensure that you are also checking that how much GPA you have received in the German grading scale, so that you know prior to your application. Some specialized courses may require prior internship or work experience. For example, in MBA, they might require for minimum 2 years of work experience or internship prior to your application. Standardized tests like GMAT will depend on course and university. So GMAT and GRE is usually not required. Having said that, if the university, if the course specific requirement is there, then definitely GMAT and GRE, maybe you will have to provide it to the university prior to your application. So you must ensure that you are checking on the requirements or the documents and the academic credentials carefully before application, but because they are quite strict. When after you submit the application, they will provide you a certain duration of time to submit all the documents, and you must ensure that you have those documents and you can submit them immediately, because if you do not submit those documents immediately, they might cancel your application. So all these factors, academic requirements, you must make sure that you are checking them prior to filing your application. I think I will again call upon Mr. Ratnesh to take it over for the next few slides.
Thanks a lot, Sukanya. I think that was really concise. I have also been answering some questions on the Q&A. So all those people whose questions are not answered, please don't worry. It only means that it needs more explanation and might not be explained by typing. So at the end of the presentation, we have a Q&A session. So we will be answering those questions in the Q&A part as well. So now coming on to preparatory institutes for bachelor applicants. As Sukanya already explained to you about Student Colleg and Language School, let me just give you a little bit more information about this. So what is a Student Colleg? So Student Colleg is basically going to focus on preparing you for university studies. Since the German curriculum is 13 years long, and let's say if you're coming from a 12-year curriculum, you might lack some of the advanced knowledge of the relevant subjects. So that's what they will train you in the Student Colleg. It is mandatory for all 12-year curriculums. There is also the possibility of getting guaranteed progression to a partner university, which means that a Student Colleg might make you eligible, and also at the same time might give you guaranteed progression to a university after the finishing of Student Colleg. German proficiency may or may not be required for a Student Colleg, which means it's not a mandatory requirement. You will be able to find some Student Colleg which do not have any German language requirement. And if the university has any such requirement, the Student Colleg itself will take care of training you on the language. There are two types of Student Colleg, public or private. Public ones are free and private ones are paid. But then the public Student Colleg will always require you to have German language proficiency. Now, focusing on the language school, as you already know, it's very simple and straightforward. They focus on preparing you for the language. They are ideal for students who want to start learning in a German-speaking university. So it's always good that you go there to Germany, you polish your language with a German language school, and then you start studying in a German-speaking university, if at all you are interested in that. Language schools usually do not give any guaranteed progression because they are just focused on preparing you for the language. German proficiency is definitely not required in a language school, and most of them, they charge a specific fee to train you on the language. So that's about the two types of preparatory institutes, Student Colleg and the language schools. Now let's have a look at an example route. If any of you are interested in doing a bachelor degree in Germany, but you come from a 12-year curriculum, or let's say, to put it in a simple term, you are not from British curriculum or you're not from IB curriculum, from the A levels or the IBDP2, then all of you will fall under the 12-year curriculum route. And in such cases, you have to go via Student Colleg. So this is one of the Student Colleg that we would present to you. It's called as the Freshman Institute at the FH Aachen University of Applied Science. As we already said, FH Aachen University of Applied Sciences is the #1 university in Germany as per the CHE ranking. This university has a Student Colleg for international students like you. It is a non-state funded Student Colleg, which means you'll have to pay the fees for that 1 year. The admission on the Student Colleg is provided on the basis of an entrance exam, which will test your skills on math and English. These exams are already going right now. For students who want to admit in Germany in the September intake, the exams are already happening. There was an exam last month, there was an exam this month, and there is an exam next month as well. You can give any of the attempt which you are comfortable with, and if you pass the exam, you will get admitted into the Student Colleg. No IELTS is required, so you don't need to, let's say, spend additional expenses or money on giving IELTS exam. No prior knowledge of German language will also be required, which means they do not want you to come prepared with German language. It's not a requirement. You can go there and they will train you on the German language. So they will not only train you for university preparation, but they will also train you on the language part. So if you remember the previous slides Ms. Sukanya had covered, where you had to spend 1 year on Student Colleg and 1 year on the language, making it 2 years, this particular program, the FH Aachen Freshman Program at the FH Aachen University of Applied Sciences, saves 1 year of your time because it combines the university preparation and the language training in the 1 year itself. Most importantly, FH Aachen Freshman Program gives you guaranteed progression to their partner public or private university, which means that even before you step out of your country to travel to Germany for the Student Colleg, you will be knowing which university are you actually going to get a progression to after finishing your student college. So it's a guaranteed progression program. If any of you have any doubts or questions about it, you can put it in the Q&A session, or else you can also head to our website right now, www.gyanberry.com, and schedule a video counseling with one of our counselor, and we will explain to you in detail about the FHRCAN option. There are other similar options as well, where you can do a student colleague and get a guaranteed progression to a public university where you can study for free. And at Gyanberry, we have some really good options in this space. So please reach out to us and we will be more than happy to present those options to you. Now, similarly, if you're looking for a language school option, this is one of the options, that is the Student College Düsseldorf. It's a student college. It's a student college as well as a language school. Even this is non-funded. The admission is on the basis of high school grades. No IELTS or prior language of German is required. They provide training on A1 to C1 German language courses. And after finishing the German language course, you can apply to any German university, whether it is public or private, even if it is English taught or German taught, because you would now have the German language proficiency. So that's straightforward example of the language school. Now, if you want to know how many levels of language are required or are present and how much time does it take, this will make your life easier. There are 3 levels of the German language, that is A, B, and C. So A is divided into 2 parts, A1 and A2. They are considered as the basic level. Then comes B1 and B2, which is considered as lower intermediate and upper intermediate. Then we have C1, which is proficient, and C2 is actually almost as good as native. So if you focus on learning the language, let's say full-time learning the language, it will take you approximately 6 to 7 months to go from 0 to B1 proficiency. Whereas if you spend 9 to 10 months, it will take you, let's say 9 to 10 months, as I said, to go up to B2 proficiency. And within 12 months, you can also achieve up to C1 proficiency. Most German public universities who teach in German language, they require you to have B1 or B2 level of proficiency. If you are interested to study medicine in Germany at a public university, none of the public university in Germany teaches medicine in English. They teach only in the German language. So because of that reason, you will need to have B2 to C1 level of proficiency in the German language before applying for a German public medical university. But if your university is offering course in English, let's say engineering, business, any other course, then you do not need B1, B2 or C1 level of proficiency. You can just do the basic levels, A1 and A2, because even if your university is going to teach in English, the local people might not be very comfortable in English. So if you are to coordinate with them, if you are to go to the local office, let's say for any purpose, or if you have to do grocery shopping or use transportation, it is very, very important that you know at least the basic levels, that is A1 and A2 of the German language. So that's about German language. At Gyanberry, we feel that you should respect a company's culture. So if you're going, a country's culture, and if you're going to Germany, it's always good to look up to the language and see if you can develop some skills in the language, and it will help you in the longer run. So let's just have a look at learning the language in the coming slides. Now, on our website, www.gyanberry.com, we have already identified some English taught bachelor and master degree programs for you. So let me take you to our website right now and give you an idea that how can you make use of our website, all the hard work that we have already done. It's ready-made available for you, and you can simply have a look at all possible options of German universities offering English taught courses. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we will go to my web browser where I will share some options with you of German public universities. So we'll just go to gyanberry.com. So this is just how you'll also visit the website. Now you can just scroll down slightly. I'll just turn on the pointer so that you know we are all on the same part. So here you see find the best university. So you can search from universities all over the world. Just click on the search now button out here. You can type whichever course you are interested to study. So let's say I type mechanical engineering. It will already give me some drop down. So I can select whichever I want. And then I can select the level of study. Let's say bachelor. And then let's say I select the country. Again, we provide this service for almost 30 countries. So here, since the topic of discussion is Germany, I'll select that. Otherwise, you can select as many as you want. And then I hit the search button. And this will now tell you how many mechanical engineering related courses are entirely taught in English available in Germany. So as you can see, there are 9 options at KIT, at Rheinwald, at German International University, at Jacobs University, and so many more options. If you want to know what all courses are there in English, just remove this filter of mechanical engineering. And now you will see that there are almost 241 options for English taught course. And now have a look at the type of course. You have Bachelor of Arts in Fashion Design, you have Humanities, you have Music, you have Business Management. So it's not just about, somebody was asking in the Q&A session about architecture. Have a look, there is an architecture option as well. So these are all the options which are taught entirely in English. So these are all the courses. You can just scroll and see which ones are you interested in, and just click on the no more option out here, and you will then be able to reach out to Gyanberry, and we will be more than happy to help you further. So that's about bachelor degrees. Similarly, you can do the same for master degree as well. I will now take you back towards the presentation. Sukanya, if you could please confirm, am I back on the presentation? Are you able to see the presentation screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
All right, thanks a lot. So that's about the website of Gyanberry, which has a lot of resources for you. We have done a lot of hard work so that you don't have to spend hours on internet and researching the right course. So you can head on to the website right now and do the search of courses that you want to study. Now let's have a look at the important part, the deadlines and the tuition fee. So now if you are a bachelor applicant and you want to apply to universities, first of all these deadlines are for September intake. So if you're applying to universities, ideally you should complete your application by the month of March. So we are already done with January. You have 1 month left now, that is February. So ideally you should be completing your application process in the month of March, even though the deadlines might extend up to 15th of April or 10th of April. It's never a good idea to wait till the deadline. So this is the last month beyond which you should not be taking your applications ahead, at least for university application. This is only applicable for those students who are eligible for year 1 entry, which means the 13-year curriculum students. Now, if you're applying to a student college, you have time until April. You can wait. You obviously have to give an exam, as I said earlier. You will then get your result. Many student college allow you to appear for exams twice, which means if you fail once or you did not get the right score in the first attempt, you can attempt it again. So you can immediately contact us today after the session if you are interested to appear for the exam. As Ms. Pooja had mentioned in the very beginning, we do not charge any consulting fee. So you can apply to the exam with Gyanberry, and we will help you register for the exam and do your application without charging you anything at all. If you are willing to apply to language schools, you have time until May, which means almost as much you're done with your high school, and then you can apply to the language schools. Gyanberry again has some really good language schools in its network, and we can help you apply to those language schools. Now, if you are a master applicant, obviously for you, the option is to apply to university straight away. And for that, the deadline remains March of 2022. You should not take it beyond March. Now, as far as the tuition fee is concerned, if you are studying at a public university, there will be zero tuition fee. Now, there is a small disclaimer below that if you read that there is a semester fee. So, I mean, usually, if you look at the next line, private university, the tuition fee is 10,000 to 18,000 euros. But if you study at a public university, this is the amount you save. You don't have to pay the amount between 10 to 18,000 euros. But as an international student, you will be liable to pay a semester fee, which is 1,500 euros per semester. This will give you access to a lot of things. For example, discounts on books, discount on cafes, and even free transportation within the state. So it's not like a cost, it's more like facility which you avail by paying a specific amount. So that's about the public universities. Private, as I already said, you will be spending between 10,000 to 18,000 euros per year. I mean, the fees can vary from university to university, but this is the general range between which most universities will fit. If you're looking at a student college, depending on whether they train you on language or not, the fees can vary between 10,000 to 20,000 euros. If they train you only on the student college, it is close to 10,000. But if they train you on both student college as well as language, it might go up to 20,000 euros. And if you're looking at language schools, it is usually 3,000 to 5,000 euros per level, which means level A, level B, and level C. It can range you 3 to 5,000 euros per level. So that's about the deadline and the tuition fee for studying in Germany. Now, for those who are wondering, after I'm done with my education, what are the future prospects? Whether you study at a public university or you study at a private university, you have made an investment of, let's say, your precious time, which is 3 to 4 years, or let's say an investment of time plus money, whether it's semester fee or it is tuition fee or it is the cost of living, that is the expenses that you incur when you stay there. You have made an investment. So what are the returns on those investments and what are the future options for you? So there are two steps ahead of this. That is, you can either get the work permit, which is, a straightforward process. As soon as you finish your bachelor's degree or your master's degree, you will obtain a 18-month, that is 1.5 year of post-study work permit. Now, in this period, you can identify the right job for you. And once you have the job, you can keep working as long as you have the job. That's right. There is no timeline for that. As long as you have the job, you can keep working. Now, the usual timeline for permanent residency is as follows. If you have the B1 language proficiency. Now, remember I told you earlier that there are great advantages if you learn the language. And this is where the advantage comes. That if you have the B1 language proficiency, you will get your PR in 21 months' time. That's the standard process from the government, which means within 21 months, you will be able to apply for your permanent residence visa if you have German language proficiency of up to B1 level. Whereas if you do not have the proficiency, it might take up to 3 years, 36 months, which means 3 years of your time. So that is the advantage of making that investment of effort by learning the German language. Apart from work permit, you can also think of further studies, which means if you are a bachelor or a master student, you can still do another master's degree, which will be between 1 to 2 years, or else you can also go for PhD studies, which can range between 2 to 5 years. As we already know, Germany invests a lot on research. So there are a lot of students who go to Germany for research purpose as well. So that is the future opportunity. Either you can enter the German labor market by working, or you can continue your studies. Obviously, we do not need to give information about how are the salaries, because Germany offers among the highest salaries for fresh graduates. That is the reason why it is one of the strongest economy in the world and also the largest in Europe. So that's a very, very good scope after you finish your education in Germany. Now, all said and done, why should you be choosing Gyanberry for the admission process to German universities? There are several reasons that I have, and let me give you some of those now. First of all, we are the authorized representatives of several German universities, which includes both public as well as private universities. Let me just give you an example of our partner network. I'm going to share with you the list of our universities in Germany. I'm sure you are now able to see the screen. FH Aachen, University of Applied Sciences, then there is Lancaster University, SRH Berlin, then there is Berlin International University of Applied Sciences, IUBH, CUNY Logistics University. So many options if you want to study in Germany with Gyanberry. That's the reason we say that we have a good edge or a very good edge over German universities. We provide you complete assistance right from counseling till the visa process. So today's session is just an eye-opener for you to tell you what are the possibilities in Germany. The next step we want all of you to take is go to our website, www.gyanberry.com, and click on book an appointment and speak to us one-on-one, explain to us your requirements so that we can tell you how are we able to provide assistance to you. We have years of experience in the Germany admission and the visa process. That's the reason we take your hands and we be with you till the very end, till the time you obtain the visa in your hand. Gyanberry also provides scholarships. Most important announcement for the day. If you get admitted to any of Gyanberry's partner university or partner student college, we will be sponsoring up to 20% of your first year tuition fee. You heard it right. There is no terms and conditions involved out here. The only thing is the percentage of the scholarship. We will evaluate your profile, and on the basis of your achievements, we will let you know that within the 20%, how much percentage of scholarship will you get, but this will be a Gyanberry as a company. We understand the problems of first year students. There are a lot of unexpected expenses, and that is why we take care of ensuring that whatever little contribution we can do to your journey to make it smooth, we do that. So there will be guaranteed scholarships for everybody who applies through Gyanberry. You also have an option to get a second opinion from somebody who is studying in Germany. We have already helped lots of students to study in Germany, and we have started a very, very interesting platform where you can get in touch directly with those students. The platform is called as Super Mentor. With Super Mentor, you can get real advice from senior students of top universities. Here are some of the students. There are many of them, more than 20 on the Super Mentor platform itself. But you can always visit gyanberry.com/supermentor and book a video session with any of them that you like. As you see, Adam from the FH Chakan University of Applied Sciences already graduated from physical engineering. Then you see the next student from University of Duisburg-Essen, that is Abdel Rahman, already graduated with structural engineering. And you see Fatima from Hochschule Worms, graduated with international business in the masters. So there are a lot of students on the website. You can actually get in touch with any of them directly by booking a video session, and it will be a one-to-one session only between you and the student. So you can ask all your queries about the future possibilities, about the language, about the quality of education, part-time job, anything that you want to ask directly with these students who have been at your place few years ago. So now moving ahead, what to do about my particular course. Let's say you are interested to study medicine, or you want to study architecture, or you want to study engineering, or let's say you come from a particular curriculum. So it is best and it is highly advised that you visit our website and click on book an appointment. And by booking an appointment, you will be able to schedule a one-to-one video counseling with one of our counselors, and we will be able to help you in understanding the entire process. How will it be for you? Because in Germany, the processes are slightly different based on the courses. So if you're looking for, let's say, architecture, or you're looking for medicine, the process can be different for both of you. So with that, I think we have finished all the particular questions which were there in the Q&A. We also went ahead on the timeline, but thanks to all of you who are still there. I hope all your queries were answered today. If there is any question which was not answered, and or let's say you could not ask, as I said, feel free to visit our website www.gyanberry.com and schedule a video counseling. You can also email us at info@gyanberry.com, and we will be more than happy to help you. So for today, it's bye-bye from all of us. It was great hosting all of you, and we look forward to meeting all of you again in our upcoming webinars so that you get more information about all other study abroad options as well. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening ahead.